Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Multiverse Leadership Podcast. What's one way you think artificial intelligence could help you build stronger business relationships or grow your professional network? Today, I'm thrilled to welcome Joe, a dynamic entrepreneur, speaker, and AI business development expert. Joe is the CEO of Ajax Union, a leading B2B digital marketing agency, and the founder of Evie AI, an AI-powered LinkedIn assistant helping thousands of professionals boost their network and business growth. Joe, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm actually really excited to be here, and I'd love to share insights about how to use AI and how to use LinkedIn because
Yes.
most people have absolutely no idea how to use it.
I feel that I was one of those people before I met you and actually been using your AI program. So I know it's powerful and profoundly amazing.
Yeah, Evie AI is helping 20,000 users in 37 countries around the world, and we help people be able to create post ideas, write the posts, leave comments, create the messages. We help you save profiles into lists. And we help you be able to have a strategy that will actually get you clients. And one of the things that our clients tell us is it saves them so much time when they're using platforms like LinkedIn. Now we also work on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, and everywhere else as well. So it's a very powerful way for people to get their first 100 clients. And a lot of micro businesses, they set up a website, but they don't know what to do next. And for us,
Hmm.
we know exactly what to do to get our first 100 clients. So we'll show you, walk you through, and give you all the tools to make it fast.
That is amazing. I would love to know where's your journey been like to get here and thought, let me build an AI tool to help other humans get clients and do better.
Well, I've been always passionate about helping small business owners be able to get clients. That's why I started my marketing agency 17 years ago because people were like, Joe, you have a web design company and you service 100 people a year as a freelancer doing web design for people. How do you get your clients? What's the method that you'd use? And I was like, well, I do search engine optimization and I use social media and I use platforms. And people were like, can you do that for me? And I was like, sure, I can do that for you for a monthly fee. And before you know it, I was servicing 1,100 clients. And then people were like, how are you getting big clients? And I said, big clients come from networking and trust and building relationships. And then they said, can you teach us how to get big clients? Can you teach us how to use tools like LinkedIn? So I started teaching LinkedIn over 10 years ago. And the problem was is that people weren't executing on the things that I was teaching them. You know, they say that knowledge is power, but that's a myth. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is actually not power. You know what power is? Power is action. Power is applying the knowledge that you learn. So if you can apply knowledge, you can learn it and then apply it is key. So how do you apply it if you don't have enough time? Small business owners don't really have the time to leave comments or messages. So for me, the number one way that I show people how to do it is by going on LinkedIn Live, is by going on podcasts, is by doing, like I told you, we're going to have a webinar in like 50 minutes. If people go to eviai.com/webinar, I'm going to have a webinar coming up and I'm going to be teaching people. And that's what I enjoy doing the most. It's kind of like walking you through here. Let me share my screen. Let me show you how it works and let me teach you how to make it happen. But let me also give you the tool. Let me also give you the technology that sounds like you and that could help you do all the activities together with you as your assistant. So we call it a sales assistant because we help you generate more sales.
I love that. And it is a truly profound product. I've been using it myself. And it really does sound like me. 'Cause I know sometimes we use AI to go research and do stuff. We try and type in to try and make it sound like us. It doesn't sound like us. It's not fine tuned. We're not prompting it correctly. But with your product, I've seen it prompts it in our voice. So it seems more human and less AI-y. That makes sense.
That makes total sense because a lot of the times people don't set up personas to properly prompt the AI or to properly train the AI. And then the AI by default is set to sound like a machine because that's what it is. It doesn't know what you sound like. So it's going to sound like it sounds. And it sounds like a machine often. And so what I tell people is let's create a persona for you so that AI can role play and sound exactly like you. And we have many different personas. So you sound a certain way on LinkedIn. You sound a certain way on Facebook. You sound a certain way on Twitter. You sound a certain way on school. You sound a certain way on email. You sound a certain way when you're talking to a certain segment of the population. And so we can create as many personas as we want. And then whenever we're creating content, whether it's a comment or a message or a post, we will then have the AI sound exactly like you need to sound in that platform, in that role.
Absolutely love that because that is definitely a time saver. I know myself, I've sat here frustrated trying to talk to people or leave comments like, I liked your post. Cool. Thumbs up. That doesn't really get engagement. That doesn't
Yeah.
move the needle forward. It just makes you sound like everyone else out there and all the noise.
Yeah, building those relationships and actually getting to know people and actually showing them that you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Ooh, I love that. So true. They don't care how much you know, but only how much you care. I love how you said that because in this world now, people want more connection. They want to feel more connected now than ever. And being able to use a tool such as Evie, even though it's not human, to actually help you be more human through it is truly profound.
And look, at the end of the day, it's about human connection. That's what it's really about. It's not just about being on LinkedIn, but being present on LinkedIn. It's not just about hoping for the best, but having a strategy to really connect deeply and really get to know people in a meaningful way and reading their posts and acknowledging them properly. And most people, they're just kind of like lurking. You know what lurking means? Where you're just kind of like just on the sidelines, just like watching things and not really leaning into the conversation. But if
I'm
you
hoping for the best.
yeah, hope is a great thing. It's just not a great strategy. So I always tell people actually lean into the conversation. Like take a moment to actually get to know people and build those relationships. And if you can actually get to know people and build those relationships using tools like Evi AI, that can really have a massive impact on your business. So I recommend that people take the time to learn how to use these technologies, to learn how to use these tools, and it will save you a tremendous amount of time and it'll help you to be able to be more authentic when you're building those relationships. Like for example, if I'm doing research on you, right? I want to have a conversation with you. I do a research on you. I just, search your name on LinkedIn or on Google or whatever, and I pull up your profile. What am I going to find about you? Well,
Uh-oh.
if I'm just googling you, I might find one or two things, right? But if I have AI do the research about you, what do you think will happen then?
No bounds. We'll find everything, even things I didn't know about myself.
Yeah. So, like, for example, Evi AI does that research. So, for example, if I want to pull up your profile, I can tag you as a podcast host, right? Because I can tag you. And then I can click on, let's say, Copilot or Perplexity or whatever it is. And then it starts gathering detailed professional information to create a comprehensive summary and identity with all the information related to you. So, it says that you're the founder and CEO of ITCMD. You're a host of the Multiverse Leadership Podcast. You're a speaker. You're a healthcare tech behavioral change advocate. You're a cybersecurity and HIPAA specialist. And it tells me your target market that you work with healthcare executives, that you work with medical practices and clinics, and you growth minded entrepreneurs, and you do IT compliance for professionals in healthcare. That it breaks down every single thing about you. It shows me that you're active on X, and that shows me your podcast website and your company website. And tells me that you're in Newport Beach, California. And then it tells me if you're going to be talking to this guy, Justin, check this out. It tells me ask him about his personal journey that shaped his leadership philosophy and the
Whoa.
approach to cybersecurity and healthcare. And then it asked me to
Whoa.
ask you, like, what inspired you to launch the Multiverse Leadership Podcast? And what's been the most memorable guest besides Joe Apfelbaum on your show?
Who's
And
that?
then like, how do you integrate behavioral psychology into IT and compliance solutions for healthcare organizations? And it tells me all the
Ooh.
notable achievements. It tells me how you overcame significant personal adversity, including addiction and near-death experiences. It tells me that you hold a dual concentration bachelor's in IT and computer forensics and a master's in information assurance and security and a post-bionical and behavioral psychology. It tells me that you founded your first tech at age of 16 and you've been A plus certified since 2003. It tells me that you lead the IT operations for 38 clinical locations to ensure secure and compliant healthcare delivery. And it also tells me that you're an advocate for employee owned business models and a culture for shaping leadership. So it's like, wow,
Woo!
wow. And you're active in the MSP community and you regularly share behavior changes and compliance. And by the way, that's one of the biggest problems in cybersecurity. It's social engineering. So it kind of tells me how to have that
Yes.
conversation with you and how to navigate that. And that's just the beginning. I can find out your personality. I can look up every podcast you've been interviewed on. I could look up every article you've written. In seconds, it'll pull everything up for me, show me this map of who you are. And now I can start being a human
I need
being
to see
with
the
you.
map of who I am. Wait a second. Wow, that takes all the guesswork out of everything. Because all that
Yeah.
research would take so much time, If you
Yeah.
approach me that way and talk to me that way, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, let me give you my full attention. Let's talk. You know
Yeah, like,
me."
who are you versus me trying to sell you some random crap. If I had your
Yeah.
YouTube, your Facebook, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, your website, your discovery call link, if I had everything at my fingertips, now I become a total rock star to you. Now you're paying attention, and people that pay attention.
Ooh, that is so powerful. I actually didn't even know it did a lot of that stuff. I've been using it all wrong.
I recommend you come to our office hours every day. We even added a keyboard shortcut called Alt G, but I just click the Alt G button and it writes a comment under your post with the keyboard shortcut. So now all of a sudden I just hit comment, boom, and the comment gets generated under your post with a keyboard shortcut.
Oh, you're killing me, man. You're bringing more value than I even thought was gonna happen today.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with AI and trying to figure things out and research stuff, and I'm pretty much doing it all wrong. I'm wasting too much time putting into the wrong
Yeah,
way
and
of
that's
doing
why
it.
and that's why we offer people the bundle. If people go to eviai.com/bundle, BUNDLE, they can actually get $10,000 worth of training for just $984 a year right now. It's for a limited time only. If you're in your car and listening, or if you're not by a computer, you can just send the word bundle to 973-841-8868. 873-841-8868, and our AI will reply with the link to the bundle. Which, like, one of the things that people don't realize is AI is here to really assist you, not to take you over. It's here to kind of
Yes.
support you, just like any assistant is here to support you and not to take you over. That's really the key. The key is learning how to use it in a meaningful way so that you can actually build those relationships, get to know people, and then get on the phone with them and be a human being.
God, I love that. So powerful. I've actually been in some of your trainings before in your webinars, and they've actually showed me that you're kind of one of the only ones really out there advocating for AI as a tool and showing people how to really use it in such a powerful way. To not just type in there and get a response back, but really use it to dig into people's lives and who they are and really truly connect with them. I don't see anyone else out there doing this. And
Yeah,
I've been looking.
and because people are trying to say, "Oh, let's automate everything with AI," but automation isn't what human beings need. What we need more is connection.
Oh, I love how you said that because I've actually had those conversations with people. There's certain things you automate, and there's certain things you need to be on the front lines connecting with your clients, the customer, whoever you're trying to get in touch with, and be that human being.
Yeah, and so many times people don't realize how simple it can be to just pay attention to somebody, and then I can see if they commented or whatever they did. I can then stay top of mind with them by leaving a comment on their post or by checking out what comments they commented on and seeing the recommendations they have. I don't know if you have any recommendations on your profile, but most people don't have any. But if I take a look
I
at
don't
take a look at
think
mine, if I take a look at mine, I have 520 written recommendations, profile recommendations on my profile. You have 0 on yours.
that's a problem. We
We
need to
need to
immediately
we need to
change that.
immediately change that because you're such a popular guy. Plus, the only person commenting on your post right now is me. So
Seth.
we need to get you in our No, that's amazing. We need to get you in our community. Did you know that we have 1,000 engaged LinkedIn users in our community? 1,000?
No, I did not. That's an
There's
amazing community.
there's 1.2 billion people on LinkedIn right now. 1.2 billion people on LinkedIn. We have 1,000 of the most engaged LinkedIn users that are in our community, supporting each other, building relationships with each other, getting to know each other. And my goal is just to have 1,000 people that love each other and support each other. And if 1,000 people can each reach 1,000 people themselves, we just reached a million people.
Ooh.
Because 1,000 times 1,000 is a million.
That is powerful. I love that building that community. I'm actually trying to figure that one out myself, how to build community. But I think most important, I need to be part of another someone else's community to learn and understand how that works first.
Exactly. Learning how community works by joining other communities and by finding other people that are your tribe and really going deep with them and getting to know them. And then you also being the one that engages. I mean, on LinkedIn, I can see how many times you commented on my post. I could see how many times you commented on other people's posts. I can see if you're actually giving, if you're actually taking the right actions.
I think
And I
mine's up and down a little bit. Sometimes, not sometimes. It's not as much as it needs to be or
That
should be.
consistency is probably the most important thing for building community, because it's so easy to start a community and then forget that the community exists and then leave it.
Yeah.
That's the easy part. It's like we get ADD, we get excited about the community, but we don't realize it's hard work to like always be there and always be present and always be replying to people and always like actually showing up for people. That is something that most people don't talk about, the hard work of building a community.
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up because I've been trying to figure that out and learning that more work goes into it than I even understood. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna build a community," but then nourishing it is the other part
Yeah,
of
it's kind of
that.
like you planted a tomato plant, but you didn't give it any water. What do you expect will happen? The tomato plant will die.
Eventually, yeah,
It
wanting
needs
that.
water, doesn't it? Doesn't it need sun and water and sunshine and love and connection? Doesn't it need that stuff? I personally think it does.
I believe that too. Yeah, you just kinda had a light bulb moment in my head right now about community and building that. I'm asking. It's hard because you said earlier, it's hard to stay consistent because business owners, we have so many things we're trying to achieve or trying to go after or trying to do. And it's just consistency and all of them doesn't work. We're always being pulled in different directions. What are some tips and tools you could help us to kind of really focus on maybe a few things
I would
consistently?
Yeah, so if you wanna be able to do things consistently, the most important thing that you have to realize is that you need to have a strategy. If you don't have this plan, strategy is a big word, so let's just say plan. If you don't have the right plan, the right people, the right promise, if you don't have that, you're not gonna get the profitability, and if you're not making money, you're not gonna pay attention to it long term. Because
Yes.
you pay attention to where the money is. That's really the idea. You're literally paying attention to where the money is. Where is the money? If you're not making money off something because you're not being strategic, you're not going to pay attention to it. So that's an actual huge problem that people have, where they stop paying attention to it because they're not really seeing results from it. And they're not seeing results from it because they're not really sure how to measure the results. That's a big component. So number one is you have to have the right strategy. Number two is you need to surround yourself with the right people. So if you don't actually have a community of people that you're surrounding yourself with, that's also a huge problem. So that's also not going to give you consistency. So if you don't have the right strategy and you don't have the right community, it's not going to work either. And then you need the right technology to make things go faster. So if you're using technology and it becomes fun instead of it being a chore, people love to have fun. They hate when it's a chore. And so understanding the right way of doing things, making sure that you're having the right technology, the right community, and the right strategy, that's the way that you have consistency, in my opinion.
Damn, I like that very much. That really resonates with me. I'm curious from what you said about measuring the results. That kind of stuck with me. I'm sure other people out there still trying to figure out how do I measure the results? How does one go about doing that?
Well, in your stress, so when we teach people, if you get the bundle, if you go to eviai.com/bundle and you get the bundle, we give you
Okay.
$10,000 worth of training as part of the bundle. And
Oh,
during the training, we teach you how to come up with your key performance indicators. What are the measurements for success? We teach you measurements for your business plan, measurements for your marketing plan, and measurements for your LinkedIn plan. And in each ones, you need to have measurements to understand, okay, when you're driving your car, how much gas do you have? How fast are you going? You have measurements, you have tools that you can measure with. So for each part of your business, your marketing, and your LinkedIn, you need to have measurements that you can look at and understand what are the most important indicators that you need to watch, because people are looking at the wrong indicators. Impressions is the wrong indicator. Like you can get a lot of impressions on a post and no clients. So how do you know that you're actually being successful? And that's kind of like what we teach. And we
okay.
walk and it's very custom to your business. So in every business it'll be different. In managed IT, specifically in healthcare, you're going to have different key performance indicators than if you're a dancer. Okay, just FYI. Like
Sure.
if you're professional services, or if you're a coach, or if maybe you're selling a product or a widget or something, it's going to be very different if you're manufacturing or if you're a lawyer. And so we'll custom help you with AI. We'll help custom create your exact key performance indicators for your business. And then we'll give you the method of how to be able to find the right people that will help you move the needle for you. And then once you find the right people, you connect with them and you get them on the phone, which we'll teach you how to do. Then it's about following up, using technology, telling stories, and then converting those people into actual paying customers. and we'll walk you through the entire line and how we're doing it right now for ourselves and how many of our clients are doing it as well. And that's kind of like what we teach as part of the bundle with the Evergreen Networking System.
Wow. I actually never knew that. And I'm sure the audience is like, oh my goodness, I need to hop on this now. A true profound system that helps you use AI and teaches you how to get clients and really connect
A
with
lot of
people.
people,
How
a
can you
lot of
say no to that?
Justin, a lot of people are teaching people how to use AI, but they're not teaching them how to get clients with AI. There's a difference.
Yes,
There's
very
a
true.
difference. Like you could use AI and have fun with it. Like for example, I could open up ChatGPT and make a picture of me and you as a Muppet.
Wait, can we do that?
Yeah, that's really easy. That's really, really easy to do. I just take a screenshot of us. We both look at the camera like this. I take a screenshot just like that. Oh my God, you made such a funny face there. Okay, so I just took a screenshot of you. I press copy, and then what I do is I just go into ChatGPT, and then I say, "Turn us into a Muppet style character and make it realistic." And then I just paste in the image of us, and I press
And
go.
this is real fun and cool, but like you said, it's not
But
getting you clients.
that's not turning into clients for you. And
Yeah.
the reason that's not turning into clients is because you're not like thinking about your strategy. You're not like, okay, how does me turning an image of me and this guy into a Muppet gonna help me be successful? And the chances is it's usually not gonna help you be successful unless you already know how to like build relationships with him and do AI research on LinkedIn and use that to get on the phone and then use that to send proper emails and set up segments and make sure that you have email automations and you have your funnel correctly and learn how to get recommendations on LinkedIn and have social proof and all the different things that we teach inside the Evergreen networking system. Like if you're not doing those things, you could be getting people on your podcast all day and all night, but if you're not actually moving the needle and getting people into your funnel, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and you don't understand the concept of the funnel, then you're never going to be able to get to that $100,000 a year mark. And you probably way past it right now with your 39 clinics that you're doing stuff for, but a lot of people haven't made 100K in profit. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people haven't made that. You figured it out, which is powerful, but a lot of people have not figured it out, and
I'm still
that's
figuring some of it out myself still.
yeah,
So yeah. I don't have a lot of it figured out, but this whole podcast and talking to people like yourself is kind of my journey by putting it out there and just helping other people learn as I'm learning as well. I don't
uh,
know everything. I want to, but I can't. Everything else, AI is there for me.
100%, 100%. Yeah,
So I'm curious, within your program that you have, what have been some common things you've noticed with people who come into the program but they're struggling with, what things they need to overcome in order to get to the next level?
I would say the most important thing is the fear that they have to like express themselves and share themselves online.
I
A
feel
lot
that.
of people are afraid of judgment. It's the
Yeah.
reality that we live in. People are afraid of judgment. And if you're afraid of judgment, the chances of you being successful is going to be lower than if you're not afraid of judgment, you know? Like if you're actually not afraid of judgment, you're going to take more action. And if you take
Sure.
more action, you're going to get more results. You know what I mean? So
Yes,
I
I've heard
highly
that.
recommend taking a moment and asking yourself, are you taking the appropriate amount of action on a daily basis? And if the answer is no, chances are there are some beliefs, some fears, some insecurities that you have that are stopping you from taking those actions. That's the reality of it.
Ooh.
And it's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. It's like where you're at in life. Some people are not at the level of personal development that they need to be on. And let me tell you this, you can only grow your business as much as you grow yourself.
Ooh, I've heard that so much. That is so true. I love it. Can you repeat that one more time?
You can only grow your business as much as you grow yourself because the more you grow yourself, the less fear you have, the more you lean into the universe, and the more powerful you become, and the more impact you can have on many more people. Because initially, if you're just a freelancer and you're afraid of the world and you're kind of just sticking to one product and you're doing one thing, you're very limited on what you can do as a freelancer. And so maybe you'll make 50K, maybe you'll make 100K. Maybe you'll make 120K, whatever, if you're really successful at it. But then you become like a business owner. And now all of a sudden you're like, you grew a lot and now you could hire 10 employees and now you're making 100K for each of employee that you have. So they're all a bunch of freelancers working for you. You're making 1 million now because you have 10 employees. And on average, you're making about 100K per employee. So you're doing 1 million in revenue now. Now you grew, but 1 million in revenue doesn't mean 1 million in profit. Sometimes it doesn't even mean 100K in profit. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, how do I get to the next level? and you want to get to 10 million. What got you to 100K or what got you to a million is not going to get you to 10 million. Now you're at 10 million and you're like, okay, you're not doing the work anymore. You have everyone else doing the work. You have a management team. You're doing really well. You have 100 employees. You're doing $10 million in revenue. Now you want to get to $100 million. You're going to have to be a very different leader to go from a million to 10 million, from 10 million to 100 million. And so, like, now you have to start growing. In each stage, you got to grow yourself and figure out, okay, who do I need to become to get employees that are able to either, instead of having 1,000 employees at 100 million in revenue, maybe what you can do is you can figure out how to get more revenue per employee. That means you get people that are much better than you. And now you're like, okay, can I get to $100 million with 10 employees instead of with 100? And like,
I
wow.
love
And now
that.
you have to completely change your paradigm of what's possible. And most people are simply just not able to do that at all. And so that's the idea. I want you to like think really out of the box and like, okay, if you had no limits in the world, what would you want to create? And most people are not even going after the $100 million. They're not even going after the $1 billion or the
Well, they
$1 trillion.
didn't even know what they want to create in the first place either.
Yeah.
They don't have
Yeah.
that vision at all.
100%. I sent you the Muppet. I sent you two version of the Muppets on
Okay,
LinkedIn DM
awesome.
so that you can check it out when you get a chance.
Okay, thank you very much. I really resonate with what you just said 'cause I was actually there myself. I was limited on my growth, and before I had my accident and my thing with death and my overdose, I didn't know what the hell I was doing or what I wanted to do. I was just going through life, not understanding, not figuring things out. I really had to take action, make change, and really work on myself to get me where I am now. I was scared to go on camera. I was scared to do this podcast. Sometimes I'm still a little weird, like, oh my God, I gotta talk to someone. But by the time I'm doing it and I'm doing it more consistently, like I've been doing, it's amazing. It's built that consistent habit in my life. But it's not easy. It's a long journey. It's frustrating. And it sucks sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to talk to anyone. You don't want to, you just want to lay on the couch, but you can't. You have to realize it's not just about you, but it's your why you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah.
doing it?
Why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah, and I know a lot of people can't even answer that question. They're just like, "Well, I don't know. Well, I just want to make
Or to
money."
make money. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, "Well, what kind of money? For what purpose are you going to be serving to do this?" Because most people just want to make money, but there's no purpose attached to it.
Yeah.
They're just not building their vision out to where you see clearly of what they want to get to. And
Yeah.
I just built my vision. And I have more of an understanding where I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for coming on here, Joe. It's been amazing talking with you. You have some amazing knowledge, and I even want to get enrolled in your program now as well, so I know even more about it thanks to this conversation. Because no one out there is actually doing. There's a lot of AI companies and there's a lot of people, but they're not putting those things together to create what you have in this industry right now.
Yeah.
We need a lot more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's powerful is if you can really tap into a real community of people, then wow, what can happen if you had a community? Like what could happen?
It'll take you to the next level and the next level and the next level. You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm learning. I know
Yeah.
for me, it's hard to find communities sometimes. Hard to understand how to fit in with other people.
But also community that actually engages on LinkedIn.
So
You
not a
know?
lot of them are doing that. No.
I mean, we've been trying to build community. I mean, this whole thing is brand new. It's just about a year and a half old or so, the community. But I've been working on for 10 years on building my LinkedIn presence. 10 years. It didn't just begin today. 10 years I've
A
been
long
working on my
time.
LinkedIn presence. And so like overnight success is 10 years in the making, not 15 minutes of faking or waking and baking.
I always wonder why people have that. They see what you've been doing, not understanding it's taking you so long to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
There's all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, look, it happened overnight." I don't get that mentality. I mean, I
Yeah.
used to be there too, but I've been like doing this for a year now. And I realize I have a long way to go, but I just have to keep building and keep going. Don't stop like most people do.
Yeah.
People stop before they're almost there and they just kind of stop. And like, oh well, it was too much work. I tried. But then I look at you been doing this for 10 years. That's a long time to do something. A lot of effort, hard work, and consistency to put into something.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not overnight. Maybe one day we'll all see that and see how that actually works out on the journey that we're all on ourselves.
And I don't know if you know this, but you can have 30,000 connections on LinkedIn. Did you know that?
It's weird. I did know that.
If you click on My Network, if you go to your profile and you click on My Network, on the left side it'll say connections and it'll say followers.
Okay.
Connections you can only have max 30,000. Followers you can have 1.2 billion. You can have all the users of LinkedIn. You can't have more than the users of LinkedIn, but you can have up to the users of LinkedIn, which is 1.2 billion right now, and it's growing at a rate of 3 new members every second.
I know LinkedIn has gotten pretty powerful. It's a huge force now in the social media market.
Yeah.
I've been on this journey myself with LinkedIn Sales Navigator versus using every AI. I know they do different things, and from what I've seen, every AI pretty much does what that one does, but better. What are your thoughts on both of them, or using one or the other?
I mean, Evie AI works as an assistant within Sales Navigator as well. So if you see somebody on Sales Navigator and you want to leave a comment on their post, Evie AI will draft a comment within Sales Navigator. Same thing with saving profiles or sending connection notes or doing AI research. We'll research people in Sales Navigator in a way that Sales Navigator can't research it. So it's kind of like an extension to Sales Navigator versus a competition. We actually give it a lot more functionality. Also, like one of the key features of Sales Navigator is saving people to lists. EviAI allows you to save LinkedIn users to a list so that
Yeah,
you could later engage with them, but it's different purposes. Sales Navigator is more of kind of like putting people to lists so you can prospect them. EviAI is putting people to lists so that you can network and build relationships with them. So like it really depends on what your goal is, but they all have different functions. Sales Navigator allows you to do a searching. EviAI doesn't let you search through LinkedIn, things like that. So it's still worth getting Sales Navigator if you need to be prospecting, but
okay.
EviAI is a great companion for it.
I love how you put that, really clarified that. Thank you. Before we go today, is there anything you'd like to leave our audience with? Any kind of last words of wisdom, how they can help them get to where they need to and where they can reach out to you as well?
Well, it's really easy to find me. I have a domain, joelinkedin.com, Joe linkedin.com. It makes it really, really easy for people to be able to reach out to me. Did you buy a domain and forward it to your LinkedIn yet?
I bought a domain, but it's not for my LinkedIn. They're all
Where do you
connected to my websites and my
where do you
podcast.
where do you buy your domains from?
That's a good question.
As an IT
GoDaddy.
guy, GoDaddy?
I was going to GoDaddy, but I'm actually going to probably be buying through Cloudflare now. So I have
Because
all my DNS connections through Cloudflare.
you know that GoDaddy has DNS and Pro DNS as well now? They just came out with a new DNS thing.
I did not. I
Look
love Cloudflare because it's so easy to manipulate.
Yeah, Cloudflare is
I'll
really
check
cool
that
as
out.
well. Just check out the new GoDaddy DNS thing. They have premium DNS
Okay.
now. It
I know
might be
it's
worth
simple.
it for you to look at it. It's very simple, easy to use. One of the things I love about GoDaddy is that the ability to forward domains. So, like if I set up a domain like joelinkedin.com, I could forward it to my LinkedIn profile. So whenever I'm like at a party and someone's like, "How do I connect with you?" I just say, "Go to joelinkedin.com," and they'll remember. You can go to justinlinkedin.com and forward it on GoDaddy. It's really easy. The other thing you can do is if you go to posts.joelinkedin.com, you could also forward subdomains, as many as you want. So if you go to articles.joelinkedin.com, recommendations.joelinkedin.com. So if you want to leave me a recommendation, you can go to, or read my recommendations, you can go to recommendations.joelinkedin.com, or you go to skills.joelinkedin.com or comments.joelinkedin.com. It'll take you straight to that part of my profile, and it'll make it really easy for you to kind of see everything about me in a meaningful way. So it just, that they have those features that Cloudflare doesn't have. Cloudflare does have some benefits, but for people that are just wanting to keep things simple, I recommend GoDaddy for sure. I've been a client for 20
Simple.
years. Yeah. And you're an IT guy, so for you, like
Yeah.
you geek
You
out.
can do it in there too, but it's not as simple. You have to know a little bit of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it
You
can
you
be
can do
done, but it's not
forwarding
easy.
inside Cloudflare.
Yes, that's correct. It is a little different. A little
Yeah.
harder, I would say,
You
for
can't you
most
can't
people.
just add a domain and hit forward,
No, it's not that simple. You have to do a little bit of setting up,
like a
the little
routing table or
syntax.
something.
Yeah, it's a little bit of setting up to do. But to check
Test
that
it out
out.
and see if you like it. If you
Yeah.
like it, tell your clients about it.
Hell yeah. Now I'm gonna forward my stuff to my LinkedIn. I actually don't know why I never thought of doing that. That is a
Yeah.
brilliant idea. Thank you so much
I
for that
also do it
information.
for like my podcasts and for like my book. If you want to buy my book, it's highenergymarketing.com. I forward it to Amazon.
Genius.
Highenergynetworking.com, highenergypurpose.com, whatever. So if somebody wants my networking book, they go to highenergynetworking.com and they go straight to the book and they buy it on Amazon. If somebody wants to, for example, they want to go to my last webinar, they go to businessnetworkingworkshop.com. They want to buy my boot camp for Sales Navigator, they go to salesnavbootcamp.com. So I bought all these domains, forwarded to the different things, and this way I remember all of them. And instead of me saying, go to evergreen.com, spelled with a Y, slash sales dash navigator slash bootcamp dash dot HTML dot PS.
Yeah, then no
What
one's
do,
gonna ever go there.
no way. But if I'm on a podcast and I say go to joelinkedin.com, you can't forget that.
I have to remember this. I'm gonna set mine up
And you
now.
could spell it so quick. The other thing is you can tell people to text a word. You can use automation technology. We have a domain digitalmarketing.com. And you can buy unlimited digital marketing, which is a marketing platform that we sell for that has 20 different features, including texting. So if somebody wants to check it out, they could send the word demo to 973-841-8868 and they'll get a demo. That's 973-841-8868 and they'll get a demo by texting the word demo to that number. And that's another way, like if I'm sitting with somebody in a sauna and we're talking and they have their phone, I'll be like, and we're talking about my AI and they're like, oh, can I see a demo of it? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. Text the word demo to 973-841-8868. And they instantly on their phone, they get a demo. Or they text the word bundle to 973-841-8868 and they can buy the bundle right there.
You really fine tuned this down to a T. Just
It's just about
magnificent.
making it simple. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been frustrated trying to remember websites to just send people to and stuff. But simpler, the more action people will take.
100%.
For me, it's hard sometimes because I'm so technical. I have to remember. Okay, for me, I remember this. Why don't you? But most people are gonna be like, okay, this is too hard, not gonna do it, and they'll never reach out. It's hard to remember that sometimes. It's how my mind works.
Well,
Thank
we
you,
do have
Joe.
something called the 99 hacks where we teach people 99 LinkedIn hacks. And this is one of the hacks. We have many other hacks. So if anybody's interested in the 99 hacks, just send me a DM on LinkedIn with the word 99 hacks and I'll forward you the link to pre-order the 99 hacks. And
All
just
right,
mention
I'm gonna do
Justin's
that now.
podcast and I'll give you 90% off. So instead of you paying $1,000 for it, you'll pay $1 a hack. We'll do it for under $100. So that's a special deal for your
Awesome.
listeners, the 99 hacks.
Hell yeah, guys. Gotta take advantage of this. This is free, great, amazing information and tools to help change your life, your business, and get off your ass and profoundly do and create and make something of yourselves, your lives, and helping other people out there. How can you say no to this? Whoo!
Wow. Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes. Joe, thank you so much for coming on here. It's been a really great time getting to listen to you. It's nice to kind of get in your mind a little bit, bring out some
100%.
information. Yeah.
100%. I have a question for you, Justin. I have a question for
Yes.
you.
Uh-oh.
What
I
was
can
what
answer it.
was your favorite part of this interview now that it's fresh on your mind? What did you love most about this interview?
Learning more about you as a person and then learning more about what you said to me about how a lot of people sell you AI tools, but they're not helping you how to actually build a business around them. And you pretty much sell that bundle to help people do that. So I really enjoy learning about that. More, and also, like I said, seeing the more human side of you, not just seeing you on the webinar as someone like, oh, that's a guy on the internet. Cool.
And what did you think about my
Yeah.
energy? The energy that I brought to this podcast?
That is a good question. I felt like it was high, but it could be higher. So I don't know, maybe if you've been doing too many in a row or something, maybe you're having an
Or I'm
off
just
day.
chilling like a
Seeing you
villain.
way higher.
I'm chilling like a villain, getting ready for the
Yeah, you
webinar.
seem calm and relaxed. But I'm not used to seeing you like that.
I also meditated for 45 minutes this morning and it
Okay,
felt
maybe
so
that's I'm
nice.
not used to that, Joe. I'm used to the Joe's like, yeah, guys,
Come on,
woo!
come on, come on, baby, come
Yeah.
on. And here's another
So
question. What
yeah.
would you tell others about me if you had to like describe me for their podcast?
I would tell them that before you start doing any AI tools or anything, you need to check out this guy, Joe, who's an amazing human being trying to help other human beings connect to other humans and build community, not just make money, not just sell things to people. And he'll show and give you the right tools and the ability to do that. You just invest your time. So stop trying to
Wow.
reach out to all of these tools you're trying to download and buy. Just have a conversation with Joe. See how it goes. What's the
Wow.
worst that can happen?
I love that. I
So
absolutely love that you
yes.
said that. Would you mind leaving me a LinkedIn recommendation with those comments? Would that be something that you would be opposed to doing?
I use the word oppose. I see that language there. I know this. Come on, man. I would not be opposed. I had to say the no there. I would not be opposed to doing that.
Cool. So I sent you a LinkedIn connection request. So this way we can get connected on LinkedIn because you cannot leave a
Yeah.
recommendation for somebody unless you're connected to them.
Okay. Hell
And
yeah.
as soon as you hit that connect button, go to my profile, click the more button and click recommend and then write whatever you said, about the energy, about, the value that I added and all that jazz. And then what I'll do
Yeah.
for you is I will leave you your first recommendation. because
I didn't even
I
know those
thought
were that powerful.
yeah,
I guess they are,
and
huh?
I thought you were a great podcast host. You brought the energy, you weren't boring, you kept it going, and you're just a good dude. And I like your attitude. I like your humility, even though you're very successful. So I would love to leave you a recommendation as well,
I appreciate you.
and it'll be my honor to do that. But we have to be connected in order for that to happen. So you have to go to LinkedIn and hit that connect button.
Give me a couple of days, I'll hit connect.
Go to joelinkedin.com. It'll say accept front and center. It'll say accept. And then you can choose. You can decide, should I accept it, the blue pill, or should I reject it, the red pill? Pick one. And then you'll decide which route you
I
will take
always
in the
tell everyone it's
matrix.
about the purple pill. Take both.
Well, you're wearing a blue shirt, so it's got to be the blue pill.
I had that one coming today, didn't I? All right, I will accept. I love that. I did do joelinkedin.com.
And it
I'm
went there,
definitely
right?
setting that up. Yeah.
It makes it so easy. So easy.
So I'm
Easy
so tired. Like,
peasy.
yeah, here's my LinkedIn. This is
Exactly.
phenomenal.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
I'm gonna have to start listening to what you are telling me more, not just passively, but actually implementing,
Yeah,
like you were
taking
saying
action.
earlier.
When you leave a
Yeah.
recommendation for somebody, you have to click the more button on their profile and then select the relationship. So, for example, I'll choose that you were a client of mine, that my position at the time, your position was the IT CMD. And then in the recommendation box, I'm actually going to use Evie AI to help me write the recommendation. So I'm actually going to choose my persona, which is a Joe Apfelbaum persona, so it knows who I am. My goal is going to be talking about your communication skills on your podcast. And then I'm going to click the microphone in Evie AI and I'm going to say the following. Justin just interviewed me for his podcast. He's a great communicator and a great podcast host. He also is an expert at information technology and helping people be able to use psychology together with technology to be able to help people in the healthcare industry. I really recommend that you have a conversation with him about taking your cybersecurity and your technology to the next level. He's a great guy. And I also recommend listening to his podcast because of his humility and his way that he knows how to keep the conversation interesting. Now I'm going to hit generate, and that's going
Golly
to
gee, be real curse. I'm not crying,
I'm
you're
gonna hit
crying.
generate, and then I'm gonna insert that recommendation onto LinkedIn, and it wrote up a beautiful recommendation for you. You can click into the message box of your DMs. So besides the Muppet that you'll see in the DM, you'll also see it says accept recommendation. When you accept it, you have to hit accept. When you
Okay.
accept it, it'll show up on your profile under the section called recommendations. You have to accept it. Once you accept it, it'll show up, and then you can screenshot the recommendation and then use that as an idea for a post. And you can look at my post
Oh,
because a lot of people are not going to go to your profile to notice the recommendation. For them to notice it, you can then post it. And that's one of the tips that I share with people, one of my 99 LinkedIn hacks on how to be able to do that. But definitely accepting it could be really helpful for you because it'll show up on your profile.
you just gave so many amazing nuggets of things I didn't even know was possible at LinkedIn. 'Cause like I said, I'm only been in this a year in, you've been 10 years in.
Yeah, exactly. And only a year and
So
you have
much learning.
1,400. Could you imagine how much more you'll have when you get the bundle? When you go to
Yeah.
eviai.com/bundle and you get that bundle, all of a sudden you're like, damn, son, I thought I knew LinkedIn. Now I'm the king of LinkedIn because I'm the LinkedIn daddy. The king learns
Hell
from the
yeah,
daddy
brother.
because I have 5 kids. Like I'm the LinkedIn daddy because I have 5 kids and I'm obsessed with LinkedIn.
My LinkedIn daddy. No pun
It's my actual
intended.
pronoun.
Hell yeah. I'm definitely going to do this, go through this episode, put this in here. Yes. Thank you so much. I think I should start doing this for more people as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know this
Leaving
was
them
actually a
recommendations is a
thing.
nice thing to do.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know you could, when people post their skills, you could be like thumbs up and like, yeah, this is recommended, but you can actually write
Right, this is a
recommendations.
whole nother level. This is a whole nother level,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is more interactive, more human, taking
Exactly.
your time to put into it, not just doing surface level.
Get into it, yeah.
Damn, son. All right. You just schooled me.
Yo, I kept it cool while I schooled. Ain't
Baby.
nothing but a
Okay.
G thing. Alright, I'm gonna hop on my webinar now. Great chatting with you, Justin, and we'll talk again soon.
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a good, wonderful day.
You too, bye.
But not letting me stop it.